So, was hast du denn? Aber sie sieht schon sehr tot aus. Tot und wiederbelebt. Gerade schießt extrem schnell mehrere Armbrustbolzen auf Gegner in ihrer Nähe ab. Okay, wieder ein Fernnahkämpfer. Gerade schießt 3 Bolzen schnell hintereinander auf ein Ziel und verursacht sehr viel Schaden. Schattenstich. Verschwindet und taucht neben einem Gegner auf. Dem ist ein Stich verpasst. Okay. Immer nur ein Gegner auf einmal. Das wäre nicht schlecht. Okay. Wieso? 10, okay. Aber sie kann doch jetzt die nicht mehr auswählen. Okay, jetzt sind die dran gebunden. Wieso das denn? Warte mal, der hat 30, 10. Okay, ich bin verwirrt. Der da ist nicht dabei. Hätte vielleicht gedacht, weil die nur 10 sind, kann ich die nicht mehr verwenden. Das wäre ja nicht so toll. Gehen wir mal dahin, Pfahlbach.
Your path leads you to a small fishing village on the banks of Lake Ontario. The villagers are busy and don't pay you much attention, apart from a fisherman on a boat who nods at you before returning to his nets. You can just about make out a jetty on the other side of the lake.
Sprich den Fischer an.
Excuse me, my name is Tungdil. Can you ferry us across to the other side?
The fisherman looks across the lake to the jetty on the other side, before turning back to you.
Nein.
Oh, you're polite. I like that. Samuel is my name. I'll ferry you across for 10 provisions or 20 gold, whichever you prefer.
Ah, ne, lass das.
Not at the moment, thank you.
Oh, well, no skin off my nose. If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Ja, danke, aber das will ich nicht. Okay, wir haben jetzt noch 93. Okay, es hat einen Scheiß gemacht, dahin zu gehen. Das ist so ein Scheiß. Ja, Proviant wird langsam knapp. Verdammt.
You spend the night protected from the wind in a ruin, and are sitting around a campfire as the topic of your new companion's performance on the stage comes up.
Sleight of hand, speed, alchemy, and makeup can have an incredible effect. Namora transformed herself into an elf using the latter.
I also noticed your weapons, Namora. I've never seen such swords before.
Their names are Crescent and Sunbeam. I designed them myself. It took a long time until I found a smith who was able to make them.
She looks like a pointy ear too. Nature hasn't been kind to her.
For this absent-minded remark, Boindil receives evil looks from Namora and grins from the men.
Perhaps I really am an elf, and will bring you a nightmare in your sleep tonight. Don't be surprised if you wake up screaming.
For a moment, it seems as though she has merged with the darkness, but when you blink, everything is back to normal.
By the gods! Isn't she magnificent in her role?
There is no denying what Rodario says.
Ja, das war toll. Okay, schön. Ja, ich hoffe, wir bekommen da Proviant. Ansonsten wird es langsam ein Problem. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Das spielt keine Rolle. Gehen wir mal dahin.
The group isn't overly friendly towards Geralda, and this evening she's sitting once again apart from the others. You ask yourself what you can do to break the ice when you see that she has a phial in her hand. The phial is wrapped around with silver wire and has a snap lock. The liquid in it is black. Giralda opens the lid and takes a big swig. As she puts down the bottle, a smile flits across her face, followed by a short expression of deep satisfaction. It is the first time that you have seen a positive emotion on the face of the somber dwarf.
Okay, interessant. Das ist ja... Okay, was ist das? Bisschen Drogen oder so?
Is that medicine?
No, it's... I don't know either. If I don't drink it, I have a longing for it. It gets stronger and stronger until I can't stand it anymore. When I drink it, the longing disappears, and I feel rested and strong.
And when the phial's empty?
I don't know. I don't know where I got the drink from, let alone what it is. But if I don't drink it, frackers, give me strength. I think I would go crazy or die.
Giralda plays with the phial, lost in her thoughts, as if she were trying to remember where she saw it for the first time.
Okay, seltsam. Tja, wieder ein paar Fragen mehr. Toll. Ist ganz toll. Keine Verletzungen, schön.
The size of the fields and the farmsteads grow as you get closer to Valenciensis, the old border city in the north. The old city wall is much too small for the size of today's settlement. Everywhere little cottages, and even the odd magnificent estate, extend beyond the wall.
Valenciensis. This city is home to the Grand Archive. There are countless works from all over Girdlegard here. I wonder whether we'll be allowed to go in.
Schauen wir doch mal. Und können wir bitte Proviant kaufen, das wäre nett.
You try to gain access to the city, but the guards on the wall are unyielding. The orc armies in the south and the movement of the Perish land has prompted the city council to lock Valenciensis up. You try not to show your disappointment, but Boindil looks at you curiously.
Is a house full of dusty books really that important, scholar? That's no place for a dwarf.
There are also books by dwarves and about dwarves in that archive. They've practically got everything that has ever been written. They've even got notes on the races of Girdlegard, singularities and oddities, by M.A. Het.
A book about dwarves? That really can't be any good at all.
You leave the impressive city of Valenciensis behind you and continue on your way.
Na toll, hat einen Scheiß gebracht, hier hinzugehen. Was so ein Mist. Okay, Montirane vielleicht. Müssen wir da später mal hingehen. Okay, jetzt müssen wir schnell dahin.
As on the previous evening, Bavragor sits apart from the others. But tonight, he waves you over.
Smeralda, my sister. You want to know what happened, right?
You nod and sit down.
She followed Boindil into battle. We tried to talk her out of it, but she was as unyielding as a mountain. Then came the day when the High Pass was attacked.
Bavragor drinks from his liquor.
He killed her. Blinded by the frenzy of battle, he thought she was one of the enemy. I can never forgive him. He killed my sister. Could you?
You inevitably remember the loss of Lot-Ionan, Frala, and her children. You remain sitting in silence, each of you deep in thought. Boendal approaches, having either heard you or guessing what you are talking about.
His fierce life forge is a curse. He thought the orcs had robbed him of his love, and the ire came over him. Sometimes he calls her name in his dreams. Oh, he'd never admit it, but he suffers just like Bavragor. He too loved her.
The stonemason doesn't react, so you and Boendal go back to the others by the fire.
Ja, so eine traurige Geschichte. Oh shit. Okay, das ist passiert. Tja. Na, schwer verzeihen oder nicht verzeihen. Na, vielleicht mit der Zeit. Anleger. Okay.
The familiar jetty is empty, but you can see Samuel on his boat, halfway between here and Polbrook, and you call him over.
So, we meet again. You want to get across to the other side, I presume? I'll ferry you across for...
Na, nee.
Not at the moment, thank you.
Oh, well, no...
Nee, brauche ich nicht. Okay, hätten wir ein bisschen abkürzen können, aber naja. So, Gasthaus. Bitte Proviant kaufen. Dann müssen wir halt hier noch ein bisschen hin. Okay.
A two-story tavern sits on the corner of a crossroads. The snow around the building has been cleared away, and a warm light is coming from inside. The sign above the door reads, Minstrel Castle.
Minstrel Castle? That sounds promising.
Okay. Dachte die Umgebung.
The old building has nothing in common with a castle. It seems rather nondescript. A simple tavern for simple people.
Okay, schön. Passend.
Finally! Time for ale! My throat is completely parched.
As much as I hate agreeing with you, I too can hardly wait.
You enter the tavern with Bavragor and Boindil in front. On first impression, the interior is as inconspicuous as the outside. But when you take a closer look, you spot a couple of paintings of minstrels in front of a castle, a small stage that, judging by the dust, is only very rarely used, and a lute hanging on the wall behind the bar. There are not very many guests on the ground floor, perhaps a dozen, and most of them belong to a group of mercenaries who have retreated into the far corner. You sit at a table, and after a while you are brought the ale that Boindil has ordered.
Schön. Geh zur Theke und sprich mit der Wirtin. Aha.
You go to the bar where the landlady is working and sit on a stool. The landlady, a stout, middle-aged woman with long hair, tied in a ponytail, looks up briefly, but says nothing.
Können wir ja kaufen. Ah, nice. Zuerst mal ein bisschen Smalltalk.
Say, why is the tavern called Minstrel Castle? It doesn't look much like a castle.
Oh, you don't know the legend, dwarf.
One of the guests next to you at the bar takes up your question.
There was a castle here once. No one knows its name anymore, so everyone just calls it Minstrel Castle. Once upon a time a king lived in that castle. He had many subjects and an enchanting queen. But one day a young minstrel came along and sang of wonderful far-off lands, and the subjects began to complain about their own lives. So the king sent for the singer to hear for himself. He came and sang a wonderful love song, and the king began to be scared. He thought that the minstrel wanted to steal away his queen. Without flinching, he drew his sword and struck the boy down. His father heard of this. He was himself a singer. And so he went to the king and played a terrible song, a curse. The king was to vanish in silence, and no one was to remember his name.
And that's what happened. No one remembers the name of the king or his castle. Make of it what you will. The story's certainly well known enough in the area to give Arin its name.
Okay, interessant. Dann schon wieder ein Fluch. Einfach so besprochen. Genau wie bei Witcher 3. Wo einfach jeder jeden verfluchen kann. Also, komisch. Finde ich jetzt persönlich das mit dem Flüchen. Dass man einfach so jemanden verfluchen kann. Okay. Proviant. Oh, nice. Was ist denn da? Bei erlittenem Schaden 15% Chance, den Schaden um 80% zu reduzieren. Okay. Talisman des steten Kampfes. Des Schutzes, okay. Erhöht den Schaden bei Auto-Attacks um 100%. Ja, das wäre nicht schlecht. Einige Zeit mehr Schaden. Das werde ich auf jeden Fall mal kaufen. Dankeschön. Aber ich glaube, das muss ich dann ausrüsten. Okay. Das will ich kaufen. Dankeschön. Einige Zeit mehr Schaden. Naja. Okay. Ich würde ja mal das da verkaufen, aber andererseits. Ich behalte es noch. Okay, tschüss.
You nod at the landlady as you slip off the bar stool, and she nods back.
Okay, gehen wir.
Bavragor and Boindil, who are absorbed in a drinking competition, have to be practically dragged out of the tavern. But in the end, you are able to continue your journey.
Okay. Ja, gemeinsam saufen können sie. Aber ansonsten, ja, können sie sich nicht leiden. Aber Saufen verbindet. Selbst die ärgsten Feinde. Na, ist ja schön. Okay, dann würde ich sagen, gehen wir mal da rundherum. Wir haben wieder ein bisschen. Dann können wir da hingehen. Ja, gut, wir haben gespeichert. Mal schauen. Ja, falls wir hier zwischendurch keinen Proviant erhalten, dann schaffen wir es nicht bis dahin. Na, was ist denn hier? Seegrund.
When you enter the pretty little village with its richly ornate houses and its temple to Palandil at its centre, you can see an angry mob some distance away. The villagers are hassling a young woman, insulting her and pushing her to the ground.
Okay, was soll das denn? Dränge dich zwischen dem Mob und die junge Frau.
You push your way through the crowd of people and stand in the way of the villagers.
What's going on here?
A man dressed in richly decorated vestments looks you up and down.
Palandil be with you, dwarf. It is none of your business, but this woman here is a thief. She and her henchmen have emptied the monastery's granary and were willing to abandon us to our fate.
That's a lie. We asked for help and these people turned us away. I came back to ask again.
Okay. Welchen Beweis habt ihr für ein Vergehen dieser Frau? Zur Frau erzählt, was geschehen ist.
Tell us what happened.
The villagers grumble, but the priest gives the woman a chance to defend herself.
My name is Tavia. I was forced to flee Tabayin with my family when the perished land began to spread. My husband, we had to leave him behind.
The horror in the woman's eyes gives you a good idea as to what became of her husband.
No one accepted us in the north. There are too many refugees and everyone is scared. Queen Wei has offered land in Wayan to anyone who will work hard for it. But what should we grow if no one will sell us grain? We offered a fair price, but Father Mallan...
She darts a scathing gaze at the priest.
He wanted double the amount.
The priest glances briefly at the angry villagers. Then he replies in a firm voice.
It was a hard winter. And, with the increasing frequency of orc attacks, we must think of ourselves first and foremost. Even we cannot help everyone.
The bystanders mutter in agreement.
Na stimmt, aber ja, Flüchtlinge ausnehmen ist ja auch nicht so toll. Und vor allem für einen Priester. Wenn ihr wollt, können wir die Angelegenheit untersuchen. Gut, was ihr tun müsst, wir müssen uns um Wichtiges kümmern.
The accusations are serious, so let's get to the bottom of the matter to be completely sure.
We have no doubt that she did it.
The priest looks at the villagers standing around him, the lust for blood written in their faces.
On the other hand, before we do something we can't undo.
Dissatisfied murmuring grows, which the priest debates with mollifying gestures.
Search for your evidence. You there, lock this woman up in the guardhouse in the meantime.
The woman is taken into a squat building made of rough blocks of stone. The crowd slowly disbands.
Okay, schauen wir uns das mal an. Erstmal mit ihm reden, oder? Na, gehen wir direkt zum Lagerhaus. Haus der Wache. Okay.
You enter the village's large storehouse. The ground floor of the two-story building is full of turnips, with large barrels and clay pots on the floor and on high shelves. Several villagers are carrying out stock-taking. They're being supervised by a weedy man who observes them with a grim expression and writes things on a wax tablet every now and then.
Okay.
Work is in full swing. The man with the wax tablet grumbles now and then in agreement when one of the peasants shouts out a number to him. It shouldn't take too much longer until they finish the inventory.
Erster Stock, okay.
There are sacks piled up on top of one another on the first floor. They are most likely filled with different kinds of grain and, judging by the omnipresent white dust, flour.
Okay. Was ist zu dunkel hier? Kann mal jemand für Feuer sorgen? Besuche die leere Stelle im Schummerlicht.
You look around for a portable source of light.
Can anyone see a candle or a torch? I need a light.
I wouldn't recommend that.
The Magister Technicus has followed you into the storehouse.
One spark could ignite the flour dust. We sometimes use the effect when we want to create huge balls of fire on the stage.
I think we could do without huge balls of fire in here.
Was? Okay. Stimmt das? Okay, na dann machen wir das lieber nicht.
You walk towards the only area in the storeroom where you can see the floorboards. You hesitate as your boots slip on the floor, as if you're walking on mud.
Tungdil?
The Magister Technicus carefully observes the roof beams above the empty corner. He grabs at a beam and crumbles something between his fingers. You can't make out what it is, so you copy him and feel damp, rotten wood. It's very easy to pull away small pieces.
What are you doing here?
The man with the wax tablet is standing on the stairs. He sounds half angry, half shocked.
No one is allowed in here.
Ah doch, wir dürfen. Ja, oder vielleicht hat er da was mit zu tun. Wenn sich ja niemand aufhalten darf, warum sind sie dann hier? Ja, das stimmt. Das Dach an dieser Stelle undicht ist. Ach so, ist undicht, okay.
Who are you? And what are you doing here if no one is allowed to be here?
I'm allowed to be here. It's my job. I'm the steward of the temple. Morris is my name.
Okay, Günther.
The rain has gotten here. The roof and the floor are damp.
Those savages! It wasn't enough that they steal from us, they had to damage the roof too! That was probably where they got in.
The wood didn't start to rot yesterday, good man.
The steward's face turns bright red.
And you are the experts on such things, are you?
Assuming the roof here has been leaky for a long time, what would have happened to the grain in the sacks directly underneath? Wouldn't it have turned rotten?
The man wets his lips. His gaze darts around the room.
The roof was fine. I'll have it repaired. And now, get out of here!
The steward angrily blocks off all further attempts at talking to him, and even when you threaten him with Father Malin, it doesn't have the desired effect. The father trusts in him, he says, and he's always been a devout follower. The heavy door of the storehouse closes behind you, and you hear a bolt sliding into place from the inside.
Okay, das ist verdächtig. Was ist hier los? Okay, das merken wir uns mal. Undichte Stelle. Das Getreide oder was es ist, könnte verdorben sein. Und dieser Typ könnte alles fälschen, weil er vielleicht Angst um seinen Job hat.
You enter the guardhouse, and before the guards know, Boindil and Boendal have caught them up in a friendly conversation. Shielded from the view of the guards, you exchange a few words with the suspect without being disturbed.
Ach so, okay, das ist das hier. Wo sind denn die Leute und wo ist die Beute? Warum bist du ins Dorf zurückgekehrt?
Where have you taken the grain and supplies?
I don't know anything about grain or supplies. Apart from the fact that we could do with both, I'm telling you, I am innocent!
Okay, das ist jetzt... Ich stelle mir gerade zwei Szenarien vor. Entweder diese Geschichte stimmt, sie und eine Gruppe haben es gestohlen, aber das Getreide wäre dann verdorben. Tja, dann müssen wir das wohl erzählen, oder? Der Verwalter des Lagers könnte das eingefädelt haben, sie beschuldigt, damit das ihr mit undichten Stelle und so nicht auffällt. Und dass er das ja mit dem Verdorbensein der Saat nicht erklären muss. Dass er das schön unter den Teppich kehren kann. Eins von beiden, schätze ich jetzt mal, ist ja los.
Why did you come back to the village?
I wanted to negotiate with Father Malin for the grain. What else could I do? No sooner had I arrived than they surrounded me and accused me of robbery.
We won't let anyone do anything to you, but if we are going to help you, you will have to tell us the truth.
The woman looks you in the face, then her head sinks, and when she looks back up, she has tears in her eyes.
Please, I just want to go back to my family. I don't know what happened.
Tungdil.
You feel sympathy towards the woman. You raise your hand to silence Rodario and nod to the woman to continue talking.
We asked for grain and were full of hope when we saw the well-filled granary. But we hadn't reckoned on the malice of the people here.
A slow, ironic clap sounds from behind you. Confused, you turn around to face Rodario.
Bravo, my dear, with tears and everything. Tough luck that a master of the art of acting is present. None of what she said corresponds with the truth, Tungdil. She is lying and trying to deceive us. Not completely talentless for an amateur.
You expect the woman to deny everything, but when she overcomes her amazement, she spits in the actor's face.
And what if I am? I would do it all again. The people here have more than they need and my people are starving. Is that fair?
Okay, dann hat sie das gestohlen. Okay.
Spit it out. Where are the spoils and your people?
I'd rather die than tell you that.
The woman looks at you determinedly, and neither of you blink.
Tja, es ist verdorben. Das heißt, sie sterben an Lebensmittelvergiftung. Pech gehabt. Können wir das nicht sagen?
Why did you come back here after stealing the grain and supplies?
We didn't steal 'em. We paid for 'em. A reasonable price, just not to Father Malin.
You had help.
He promised us 3 dozen sacks of grain. When we opened the sacks in our hideout, we realised that most of the grain was rotten. He thought he'd get away with it.
The woman looks around wearily.
And by the looks of things, he has.
Ach, okay, das ist passiert. Na, ich denke, ich weiß, wer es war. Ach so. Er wollte diese peinliche Sache vertuschen. Und dann kam sie. Ah, okay. Das war ja passend für ihn.
Morris the steward offered you the grain, didn't he?
What does that matter? I've no proof it was him. And even if I did, if I admit that we have the stuff, I'll be hanging from a tree by this evening and my children will starve. I beg you, let me go. We bought the grain and the supplies. Perhaps he wasn't allowed to sell it to us. But we paid. And with a little seed we can sow, at least some of us have a chance of surviving the year.
Wenn du sich belogen hättest, naja. Das war der Meinung, vielleicht milde walten. Verdammt. Ja, wir haben auch keine wirklichen Beweise, dass wir den Verwalter anzeigen können. Das ist ein Mist. Wenn du dich belogen hättest.
Clemency for me and a death sentence for my family. Never.
Okay, wieso wurde das jetzt übersprungen? Ich habe nichts gedrückt. Bis ich eine Lösung gefunden habe. Okay.
Disenchanted by the course the discussion has taken, you shake your head and leave the guardhouse. The priest is lost in thoughts, standing in front of the temple, as if he couldn't decide whether to go in or not.
Erzählen wir direkt das.
The roof of the granary is leaky. We saw some rotten wooden planks.
Again? Morris only had the roof repaired last summer.
Did he? If he didn't, some of the grain would have got damp and rotten.
Out of the question. Morris would have reported that. He checks the grain once a month and there were no complaints.
The priest has absolutely no doubt in what he is saying, often a sign that someone hasn't thought things over.
Tja.
Supposing Tavia really did steal the grain and supplies, but only to save her family, would you turn a blind eye?
Palandiel teaches generosity, but that too must have its boundaries. We cannot help everyone. At some point there won't be enough for us.
So, if you had sold the grain, the people of Seaton would have starved?
Maybe not. Not yet. But if we always give everything we have away...
No one is saying always, and no one is saying everything.
The priest shrugs his shoulders apologetically. He doesn't wish to spoil things with his flock.
Da hat er recht, der kleine Zwerg.
I was wondering, what was here first, the temple or the village?
Ah, a keen eye. The temple is indeed much too big for such a small village. It was built on the foundations of an old stronghold when salt was found nearby. The village has grown over the years in the shadow of the temple. Good people live here, honest and pious children of Pilandil.
He glances at the place where the woman was surrounded.
Why can't we just be left in peace?
You nod goodbye, and the priest returns the gesture.
Okay, und was können wir jetzt tun?
The priest is lost in thoughts, standing in front of the You nod goodbye, and the priest returns the gesture.
Hä? Was? Hä? Okay, was ist jetzt los? Können wir da jetzt nichts mehr tun? Konnten sie entweder befreien oder nicht befreien und das war's? Oder wie? Hä?
You enter Seaton and take a look round. The priest is lost.
Okay, jetzt können wir ja gar nichts mehr tun. Hä? What the fuck? Okay, warte mal. Müssen wir vielleicht jetzt diese Leute finden? Hä? Ja, wir können da irgendwie nichts mehr tun. Okay, was sollen wir denn jetzt tun? Hier ist nix. Felsbach.
When you enter the strongly fortified mountain village, you see a large group of miners standing around a shaft in heated discussion.
I really saw them, I swear!
A young man in mining clothes defiantly stares at an older man who is a good head taller than him.
Even if you did, smashing the lift hoist, it would have been better to have not sent the cage down again until we cleared this thing up.
Is there a problem?
The older man, perhaps a foreman, is so angry that he hardly seems to have realized that he's talking to a dwarf.
Mika here says that he saw orcs in the mine, and he smashed the lift hoist to bits. The cage has crashed to the bottom of the shaft. How are we supposed to work now?
Interessant. Der Typ reagiert ja, als wir hinter Orks waren. Naja. Hat richtig gehandelt. Okay.
Can we help you somehow?
Help? Well, we'll have to repair the hoist, and we need a new cage.
The foreman turns to a man next to him for answers. He's just as muscular, with dirty, calloused hands and an angular face.
It will take at least 2 weeks, but we don't need any help, unless you can speed up time.
I'll need 1 day. 2 at the most, if there are problems.
The foreman looks aghast at the Technicus, unsure whether he's joking or not.
1 day? Have you got any idea how...
Fergas is the most talented Magister Technicus in Girdlegard. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Let him help.
As long as he doesn't get in my way...
The worker shrugs his shoulders.
Why not?
Irgendetwas proviant, das wäre schön. Okay, aber andererseits, falls da jetzt wirklich Orks waren, tja dann, lassen wir doch diese Tat, die Orks jetzt ins Dorf.
Good. Then we'll help you. But we would like provisions for it. 30 rations.
Sure. If you pull it off, the provisions are yours. You really trust in your skills, don't you? Mika, give him a hand.
Fergus immediately gets to work, examining the hoist. After a few moments he sends Mika off with a list of tools and spare parts, and explains to you how to build the cage, while he takes care of the hoist's rustic mechanism. After half a day, the cage is operational again, but Fergus is still busy with the hoist. You just hear him muttering.
So far there is no automatic brake in case the ropes snap, but it shouldn't be too hard to fit one.
Okay, interessant. Ja, sicher, sicher. Automatische Bremse. Mhm. Da könnten wir vielleicht die Orks ausbremsen, falls sie wirklich kommen.
Fergus decides to fit the automatic brake, but it takes more time than expected. Building the hoist from scratch would have been simple, but the upgrade turns out to be complicated. In the end, it takes 2 days until the lift is operational again. After the work is done, you report to the foreman.
Ach Mist.
You've kept your part of the deal, we'll keep ours. Take the provisions for your journey.
Okay, schön. Findet ihr raus, wo die Orks im Bergwerk herkamen. Erstmal das schauen. Hast doch mehr Proviant, schön, gib her. Danke. Den kann ich auch kaufen. Danke. Okay, jetzt mal das da. Mal schauen, ob das stimmt.
You travel down into the mine in the repaired lift. Mika shows you the place where he saw the orcs, and you follow the winding gallery. After 1,000 paces, you stopped counting, and only after several hours do you reach an exit. There's a stench of tallow in the air. The tunnel leads directly into a huge orc camp, which blocks the pass into Snowdale Valley. If you attacked from here, you'd have the element of surprise on your side.
I could go and take a look and perhaps improve our chances for an attack.
You remember how the actor had transformed himself into Lot-Ionan and Nudin in Mephodania. You certainly wouldn't bet against him being able to walk through the orc camp unnoticed.
I'll come with you. If I stay in the shadows, they won't see me.
The actor nods gratefully.
I'll come too. I also know how to keep myself hidden.
Nomura wants to object, but you are quicker.
Thank you, Geralda. 2 more eyes and ears would be helpful on such a mission.
Okay, dann mal los.
Listen, try to sabotage their defenses, and if you can safely take out a couple of guards, then do it. But don't take any big risks. Come back here if things get too hairy.
Nomura and Rodario rejoin you without any particular urgency. The infiltration was a complete success. No one detected the two of them.
Okay, und was ist hier mit dem Schauspieler? Und was jetzt?